What's going on, guys? Brian here with HBR Colorado, HBR Home Services, Wholesale Properties Colorado, Ace Deals, Quit Drinking Alcohol Motivation, Commercial Real Estate for Sale USA, RV Parks for Sale USA, Apartment Complexes for Sale USA, and many other companies that I don't have enough time to mention. Basically, I'm the jack of all trades. Actually, I'm really just a guy that does real estate. So anything related to houses, structures, and sorry, coffee's still kicking in. I'm on my way to work. I just launched a home services company, but really all that means is I got a job off of Craigslist. But the way I look at it is like this. My first company that I ever launched was called Brian's Repairs. It was a computer repair company back in like 2003 or something like that. And I was living in a small apartment. I launched this company. I put an ad in the phone book of all places. Yellow Pages. I put an ad in the Yellow Pages, Brian's Repairs. It was like $1,300 for the year to advertise in the Yellow Pages, and I only got like 3 clients. So the whole business was a complete failure. That was like before the internet blew up, or before I got into the internet. Because yeah, that was like right as the internet was blowing up. So then my next business was sort of based on that one, Brian's Repairs, but I started fixing Xboxes. And that one I registered on Google Maps, and I think it's still registered to this day because I still get the occasional phone call. Hey man, can you hack my Xbox? Hey man, can you fix my PlayStation? And it was registered out of Cherry Hill. But I got into the game late. I didn't start online marketing until 2012. But anyway, that's just a long-winded diatribe to say yeah, you have to niche down to get into your niche. You know what I mean? I've suffered from trying to do too many things at once. When I first got into real estate back in 2016, when I got out of e-commerce, I tried to go into 3 different markets at once, and it drove me insane. So I got out of e-commerce, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to do real estate. My main market was Colorado. I was like, all right, I'm going to do real estate in Colorado. But I was from New Jersey, so I was like, well, I'll also try to do real estate in New Jersey. So I'll build a website in New Jersey. And then I was like, well, I also kind of like Florida. And I'm like, well, I'll also build a website in Florida. So I tried to do 3 different separate states at once. And then on top of that, I tried to do 2 different websites in Colorado. So I spread myself too thin. My mom always tells me this, Brian, you're spreading yourself too thin. You're jumping all over the place. And one of those motivational guys, Jim Rohn, he says, look, you can't have foundations all over the place. A guy goes around building all these foundations and he never finishes everything. I mean, I think it's okay if you do it like that, as long as you are actually going to come back and finish it, and you realize the timeline that it's going to take in order to finish it. When I first bought my Tennessee property, I knew that it was going to take 5 years for it to pay off. I registered my domain name. I registered it for 3 years, and it's about to expire. So I thought that I was going to have it finished. And my ex-girlfriend, she told me, look, I was like, 10 cabins times $100 a night is $10,000 a month. And yeah, I know that's not including taxes and overhead and property management and accounting for 50% vacancies. I know that. So if you chop it in half, all right, that's $5,000 a month. But people are just willing to shit all over your dreams. She told me, oh, you can't build 10 cabins. You don't even have 1 cabin. As if the fact that I don't even have 1 cabin limits me to how many cabins that I can build. And yeah, I'm still kind of sore over that. But anyway, what I was really trying to say was, when you start listening to all these motivational gurus and try to get into the entrepreneurial space, yes, it is important to niche down, but I also think that it's important to try a bunch of different things and start building a bunch of foundations in a bunch of different locations to see which one you actually want to do. Because, for example, when I first went to Tennessee, I was all gung-ho. I was like, oh, this is going to be a great investment. I got my dad to pay for the website, and I was like, this is going to be the greatest investment that you ever make. And it still is, by the way, but things change. Like, it's the honeymoon phase of the investment, and then all of a sudden, after I got into it, I moved down there. I lived there for like 6 months, and then I quickly realized, oh, the property has an easement, so maybe it's not good to bring a bunch of RVs back and forth through an easement and driving 36-foot Class A motorhomes through a creek past the neighbor's house, pissing people off. So then I pivoted my strategy, and I was like, well, okay, so maybe it'll be better to have it as more of a private Idaho type of retreat because it's 13 acres. So I was like, okay, I'll make it a little bit more of a private Idaho, a little bit more of a retreat that you can rent out for 1 week for $1,300. You get the whole property, you get the whole 13 acres, you get access to the cabin, you get access to the UTV, because I'm going to include a UTV. I'm going to purchase a nice UTV and keep it there and rent out the property and let the people live there for a week and drive the UTV all in one all-inclusive package for $1,300 a week. That way there will be less traffic coming in and out of the easement. All right, but long story short, what I quickly realized was, while I still like that project and I'm still attached to that project, things changed from the beginning before I went there, and then after I went there, moved there, lived there for 6 months, and then quickly realized, oh, I have to pivot my strategy. And then after the pivot, see, they call it the entrepreneurial seizure. One of my favorite books, The E-Myth, Michael Gerber, I'm pretty sure, wrote that one. He calls it the entrepreneurial seizure. The moment where you're like, aha, eureka, a campground in Tennessee right near Knoxville and UTV rentals. That's the entrepreneurial seizure. And then after all that wears off and you get down there and you're sitting there digging fence posts and the mosquitoes are biting you and you're like, man, this place has too many mosquitoes. The property's overgrown. My lawnmower's broke down and I need to fix it. The house needs maintenance. My electric got shut off. The internet's expensive. Yada, yada, yada. Oh, I need commercial insurance. Oh, there's a giant hole in the ground. Oh, there's hogs. I got to fight off the hogs. I need to build a fence. Then you're not like, eureka, this is the best idea ever. You're like, man, this sucks. I'm going to sell this place and back out. I'm going to sell this place and cash out and go start another investment that I have an entrepreneurial seizure on. Like, ooh, I'm going to start a gambling casino website, or I'm going to get back into e-commerce. That sounds good now. But when you were in e-commerce, or when I was in e-commerce, all I wanted to do was get out, because I was like, man, these chargebacks suck. These customers suck. I'm tired of doing customer service. I'm only a one-man band. I'm tired of doing customer service. I'm tired of doing order processing around the clock. I just want to get into something easy, like real estate. I just want to get into something like real estate that cuts out the credit card processors, cuts them out of the picture, because they were holding my money, and they held $25,000. I was selling hoverboards when hoverboards first came out back in like 2016 or something like that. Whatever. It was like 2016, 17. Hoverboards first came out. It used to be ranked number 2 for hoverboards for sale on Google. And I was selling tons of hoverboards. But the customer service was crazy. The chargebacks were crazy. The drop shipper was shipping them, and UPS was damaging them because they were in giant 2-foot long boxes, and they were smashing them so they would arrive with the wrong color and broken and late. After the kid's birthday, after Christmas, they weren't making it there. They were taking 2 weeks to ship, and the payment processor froze my account. So I got rid of the site, and then I pivoted into real estate, and I was like, look, I'll cut these credit card processors out, and then I can go straight to the sellers, just me and the customer, just me and the client, building a relationship, get them to sign the contract, send the contract straight to the title company, wire in the money, and then close, right? It's simple, it's fast, it's effective. And while that was true, what I didn't calculate for was the market fluctuations in real estate. See, there's always something that's hidden behind the 8 ball that you can't see. Like they say in real estate, every house has a surprise. Whether you're an investor or you're a retail buyer, you buy a house, you could even get an inspection. You get the inspection, the inspector looks at it, yeah, he does a thorough job, but there's something that he didn't see that was behind a wall, like a cracked foundation, or some hidden pest problem, or some weird infestation, or some bees come in the summer, and or groundhogs come and burrow under the crawl space in the fall, and you bought it in the wintertime, so you didn't see that. There's always something hidden that you didn't see, or you couldn't see, or you couldn't even foresee. Even if you had a crystal ball and you were predicting all this stuff, you still wouldn't know. So what I'm really trying to say is you have to get into these different niches and try out these different things and purchase houses in different locations, try different businesses to see